Did you know that there are over 7 billion people living on this world? And did you know that around half of the world's population, about 3 billion people, live with less than $2.50 a day? $2.50 a day. Could you imagine? Poverty is a very large-scale global issue, and I believe that each and every one of us should know about it, as poverty is already a very under-addressed issue for how big of a problem it has called, how big of problems it causes in our world. So today I would like to talk to you about what poverty is, how poverty is measured, what poverty looks like and feels like, and the adverse effects of poverty. So, what exactly is poverty? The World Health Organization defines poverty as an individual or household's income that is less than $24,000 a day, $24,008 a day. And this is just for the US. Poverty is measured differently. Each nation measures poverty differently. And for the US, that is for an average family of 2 kids and 2 adults. For some of us, $24,000 may just seem like a small amount or mere amount, but to many of us, $24,000 can be a life-changing amount. So poverty in itself is already a very hard issue to deal with, but the living conditions that poverty comes with, it makes life even tougher. So what it is like to live in poverty. My dad actually lived in poverty before he moved to the US. Back in India, he used to live in what you call a jali. This is the best representation of what I could find. As you can see, it is in a very crowded area and very small homes right next to each other. He used to live in here with a family of 7, and they all slept in bunk beds so that they could save room and be all able to fit in there comfortably how they could. My dad says that he hopes that no one ever has to go through poverty or be in a condition like poverty. So another example of what it might feel like to live in poverty. So many people who live in poverty are either homeless or have homes but have very small and overly crowded homes. And that leads to unsanitation. As you can see in these 4 images, there's a lot of dust and trash surrounding these people's homes, as there's no one who can come to really clean their homes, and they don't have the money to afford to buy cleaners and people to come clean their homes. And so unsanitation can usually lead to diseases and illnesses, and just not unsanitation, but many other things in poverty. So as you can see in this slide, these are 6 images of children living in poverty. And so if we start off with unsanitation. So unsanitation and poverty can lead to many diseases and illnesses, as people living in poverty use the same water to brush their teeth, to drink, to clean their clothes, to wash their dishes. And they don't have clean things. They use whatever they can find. And because of that, many diseases and illnesses are formed. And they usually cannot afford to buy health care or insurance or anything to help them. And usually these diseases end up taking over them. And another example is that malnourishment. Many of these people cannot afford to buy foods that are nutritious enough for them, and many of those things can also lead to diseases and illnesses. Malnourishment specifically leads to a specific type of disease as well. So in conclusion, poverty is a very nationwide issue, and I can tell you as much as I need to about poverty, but you can only truly experience or feel how poverty feels if you feel it in someone else's shoes. As Aristophanes once said, poverty is the most fearful monster to ever drew breath.